I have this issue with the Star Wars films. There's this really weird thing that keeps coming up in the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy. It's this issue. It doesn't sit very well with me. I don't know about anyone else, but allow me to explain it. Both trilogies follow a young Jedi new to the Force, and they end up training with an older Jedi that teaches them the ways of the Force. And this older Jedi tells them about the Sith villain and how they used to be a good person, a heroic person, but then turned to the dark side. And in both trilogies, the hero tries to convert the Sith back to the light side of the Force. And here's where the issue comes in for me. Now, I have no problem with villains being redeemed. I think that's great. I think that's wonderful. I love that element of storytelling. It's my personal philosophy that no one should lose out on an ability to change or to become a better person. Where my issue comes in is that it's selective. These heroes in these Star Wars trilogies, Luke blows up a Death Star full of stormtroopers, Rey and her friends blow up Starkiller Base, and elsewhere just slaughter through hundreds, thousands, and in the case of those larger bases, millions of stormtroopers who are full, intelligent beings just like them. But when they come across the leaders of these organizations that are doing these evil things, the hero's like, well, now I believe in forgiveness. Well, now I believe that people can change. And that same kindness was not offered to the foot soldiers that they slaughter throughout these 6 films. Now, there are a couple ways to avoid this. For instance, in Avatar: The Last Airbender, Aang believes that he should never murder anyone. And he holds true to this belief through to the main villain, whether it be a regular Fire Nation soldier or whether it be the Fire Lord. Aang will not kill. This is one way of solving this problem. It's my personal favorite, as I like to write heroes that don't like to kill. If you do write heroes like that, that's a completely normal way of writing your characters. It's fairly common. There's also the Full Metal Alchemist route. Ed and Alphonse have a rule against murder, and at the end of the series, they murder the big bad guy, and no one really brings it up, which is fine. You know, the smaller people that might have been indoctrinated or coerced or whatever, they get to survive, while the person that's been masterminding every conflict throughout the series ends up dying. That's a fine way of going about it. Or there's more Punisher route, where you have a character that kills people and that kills everyone. The overall connective tissue between these 3 ideas is that the character's approach to when lethal force is necessary should be consistent and should go to who deserves it most. And that is my biggest issue with the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy.